Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castro.
Happy Monday to everyone. Madami nangyari ng weekend,
Of
di
course.
ba? Napakagandang
Closing ceremony ng Olympics. Si Lolo Tom Cruise nando doon.
Tinext ko nga si Tom kanina.
Ano sabi mo?
Good job, bro. Pero madami tayong topics today.
Of course.
Mukhang so far, the weather is holding up from our area. Medyo mainit-init naman.
Yes, and for sure, kasi dadating na tomorrow yung mga delegates natin from Paris. Yan ang magiging laman ng balita natin bukas. Pero syempre, pag-uusapan muna natin yung today. Alright. Yung nangyari over the weekend and of course today. So, hulaan niyo po kung ano yung magiging number 1 natin.
Okay, let's move on. We're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Ranking in 8th is in our countdown is about the tragic plane crash in Brazil. Brazilian authorities have finished recovering the bodies of 62 plane passengers who died in the crash. The bodies of 34 male and 28 female were taken to the morgue in Sao Paulo for identification and delivery to their families. The plane operated by airline Vopas was flying from Cascavel to Sao Paulo when it fell almost vertically and exploded in flames in the town of Vinhedo. Authorities are already analyzing the 2 black boxes recovered from the wreckage.
Medyo, we were talking about it.
I watched this video and medyo perplexed daw ang authorities. It's because when the plane was going in a nosedive, kasi hindi naman kaagad ng crash to eh.
Right.
Visible ang, I watched that video eh. Nakikita mo slowly siya bumabagsak. You see the plane, no? It's twisting slowly and the way it's crashing, it's spiraling downward slowly. Hindi siya nag-nosedive crash. So yung authorities daw are very perplexed because while this was happening, yung pag na-nosedive during the time, walang tawag sa traffic controller.
Walang mayday.
Walang mayday, walang any sign of chaos in the cockpit, walang tumatawag for help. Parang wala lang, kalmado lang daw ang So they have to go to the black box to see.
Yun nga daw they're looking into it.
Bakit? Because walang sign of anything eh, 'di ba?
Baka naman hindi disabled na yung pagtawag nila.
We don't know yung circumstances kung may naririnig sila sa cockpit or silence yung cockpit or may mga history kasi like there was a incident in the US where everyone on board the plane was still flying pero everyone was asleep. Nakatulog because of the nag-depressure yung cabin. So they fell asleep. So pwedeng ganon na nagkaroon ng depressurize airplane. Pero we don't know eh. But authorities now have the 2 black boxes. So from the 2 black boxes, yes, makikita natin kung ano nangyari.
So far nga, di ba sabi nila 62 yung namatay. But so far, ang sinasabi nila, yung pilot at co-pilot pa lang yung identified. Confirmed talaga. Yung pangalan, yung identification. And then they have asked yung mga families, yung mga relatives,
to identify
victims, to identify the bodies and bring in some documents like medical records, ganyan, to make sure nga ma-identify nila yung
pero
yung
definitely all of them are confirmed dead. Kasi may flight manifest naman sila so they know who they are already. It's just that to identify lang.
Yes.
Para
may bata, may 3 years old, may 4 years old, may kasamang may kasamang pet, tapos meron daw isa din na 2 couple na namatay din kasama dyan sa plane crash na may naiwan na 3 anak. Diba? So, dun. And
hirap talaga ganyan, hindi mo alam kung kailan eh. Alright, let's move on.
Coming up, a major hospital in Metro Manila is now struggling to deal with the increasing number of leptospirosis patients.
And no less than President Bongbong Marcos condemned China's recent harassment of a Filipino aircraft.
Napanood nyo ba yun?
Batuhin mo pa ng flare. Batuhin ko rin yan ng flare.
Easy ka lang dyan. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yan because we are just getting started mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning, you're still watching Brunch here on One News. Happy Monday po sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin. Siyempre, babatiin natin yung ating nanonood dyan sa YouTube. Si Oscar, Gabriel Romero, si Alex Fuentes, si Gina Villa, si Garico, si Tita Daisy, and Tita
And si
Pancho.
si Ralph Domingo daw sabi niya, Happy Waffles Day.
Ang talas ng mata, Oo.
Wala nang laman ng plate.
Wala, nakinain mo na yung nauna ka ni. Ngayon pa lang ako, susubo pa lang ako, tapos sabi ni Derek, game na daw.
Kitang-kita sino kumakain dito. Nako.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Going straight now to our 7th spot, Senate President Chis Escudero calls for calm amid the backlash on the Senate's plan to limit public holidays. Escudero clarified that the Senate only wanted to limit the passage of more holiday bills and not to remove existing ones. He said it was just common sense not to add more holidays to the already fixed regular and special non-working holidays. His earlier statement did not sit well with some netizens who asked senators to work more and reduce their break instead. Back
Kasi
to you.
naman ang lumabas kasi sa across social media and may ibang pahayagan is to review parang parang ang team to review para mabawasan ang holidays kasi madami. Hindi naman niya sinabing wag dagdagan di ba? Ang nakalagay ba mabawasan. So syempre ang reaction ng working class, teka lang. You have to remember, ang Filipino is a holiday-centric nation, just like Spain.
We have a lot of holidays. We have high number
We
of
are very
holidays.
similar to Spain and Mexico in a sense na every other fiesta is
We
a
have
holiday.
religious holidays. We have government holiday.
Political
We have
holiday.
labor. We have political. Yung
Tapos, kung babawasan mo ang holiday na binabayaran ka habang nagbabakasyon ka, kung sino ba hindi...
Religious holidays.
Sino ba hindi iinit ang ulo ng mga manggagawa natin? Di ba may interview tayo last week?
Yes.
Sinasabi, yan ang source of income nila, yung mga holiday. Nagdo-double pay sila, triple pay, di ba, 200%.
Yes, dun sa mga pumapasok.
Oo, tapos
dun sa mga hindi pumapasok kasi sinasabi nila,
wala
baka
lang.
daw,
regular pay lang.
Oo, baka mabagal daw sa ekonomiya, yung productivity. Pero if you will take a look at it, di ba pinag-usapan natin dyan, yung mga SMEs. Small, medium enterprises. Nabulol ako. Anyway, yan yung kumikita during the, di ba, yung mga holidays.
Kasi you have to remember,
restaurants, hotels.
Ang SMEs like restaurants, hotels, resorts, and the like, they are an industry center, ang service industry sila. Ang service industry po, hindi naman yan nagsha-shutdown pag holiday. All the more, restaurants, resorts, nagtatrabaho ang mga service industry. Ngayon, if you go on holiday, ang mga tatamaan are yung mga non-service. For example, corporate, di ba? Corporate sector. Pag nagbakasyon sila, yung pera na dala nila, dadalhin ngayon nila ito sa resort, sa restaurant. Kikita ng mas malaki ang
holiday
small, medium.
economics.
Kaya nga si PGMA, she popularized those holiday economics.
Yung sinasandwich na niya.
Oo, may time nga na the holiday, I think, fell on a Sunday. Tapos may holiday pa on a Wednesday na next week. Ginawa ni PGMA.
Hanggang Tuesday.
Saturday to Tuesday to Wednesday.
Parang
ganun. Oo.
So, kaya
naging
holiday economics. Tapos nung naging si Pinoy, ayaw niya ng ganun. Binalik niya sa dati.
Si Pinoy, kung anong araw ng holiday, yun lang.
Yun daw, diba? So, yun parang nakikita nila na disruptive sa economy because putol-putol. That's why si GMA as an economist, nakita niya yung opportunity na, teka muna, isandwich natin para tuloy-tuloy yung gastos. Tapos pagbalik, dire-diretso na yung trabaho.
Kay PRRD naman, yung cabinet niya, may mga karamihan sa ibang cabinet members kasi niya galing kay PGMA, yung iba.
Yes, oo.
So,
nag-follow through lang sila sa
nagbalik sila sa sandwich system, which is sits well with a lot of our kababayan.
So anyway, etong si Senate President Chis Escudero, nililinaw niya na wag na magpasa ng iba pang holiday. Hindi naman daw babawasan. Ikaw naman, mali ka.
Sabi nga nila,
mali nire-report mo, Jake.
Wag mo tatanggalan wag mo tatanggalan ng holiday ang Pinoy.
Alright, sige, tapusin na natin yung usapan nito ko sa holiday. Let's move on na with our countdown.
Sitting at our 6th spot is about the so-called recalibrated strategy against illegal drugs. PNP Chief Police General Romel Marbil said their new anti-illegal drug strategy is designed to be less bloody. Marbil said the recalibrated strategy involves intensified intelligence operations and stronger community engagement. He added that it will prioritize the sources and supply chains of illegal drugs, then focusing on street-level drug personalities. Marbil also highlighted the importance of minimizing violence and said their approach will put premium on human rights. The PNP statements highlight its strategy's stark difference from the bloody approach of the previous Duterte administration.
Totally different.
yan
Yung
ang
pinag-uusapan natin last week, di ba?
Yan ang sinasabing the right approach. You go after the supply chain and the source. At gamitin nyo yung mga street level.
Don't just cut the head, sabi
No,
nila.
gamitin nyo yung street level peddlers and dealers as yung pakantahin nyo. Have them link you to the supply chain and the source. You work your way up from the peddler. Ituturo ka niya sino yung area manager nila. Si area manager, ituturo ko sino yung country manager. Country manager, pwedeng ituro sino yung pinaka-big boss. Work your way up.
So ngayon, ang aabangan natin, kung talagang may makukuha sila, mahuhuli sila, na mga, yung so-called big fish.
Ang nangyari kasi sa previous administration, yung
Maliliit
yung small fish pa lang napapatay na. So what happens is, hindi na sila nakakapagturo kung sino yung mga big fish.
Hindi talaga
Hindi
na-address yung root cause.
Hindi na-address yung root cause.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Switching gears now for our top 5, the Agriculture Department has set up checkpoints across Luzon to stop the spread of African swine fever. The agency said this is a temporary measure as the government awaits the arrival of ASF vaccines. The local Police Bureau of Animal Industry and other DA personnel will man the checkpoints. At least 64 municipalities and 22 provinces across the country have reported active ASF cases. Meron naman daw budget to procure the vaccine. Ang problema lang yung availability ng vaccine.
It's still not widely produced kasi. Specifically sa Southeast Asian region.
So I remember kasi nung during the pandemic, alala mo yon, nagsabay-sabay pandemic na nga, tapos nagkaroon pa ng
Tapos nagkaroon pa ng yung bird flu?
Oo. So ngayon, ang ginawa nila, yung parang naging standard operating procedure nila ng DA. I don't know if they're going to do that now doon sa kanilang inspection. Yung 1-7-10 protocol. Yung 1 kilometer, within 1 kilometer radius from ground zero, dyan na yung bawal na talaga may pumasok, may lumabas. 'Di ba? So, tapos dyan din yung depopulation na nangyayari, yung culling. Pag 7-kilometer radius from ground zero, monitoring, dyan din yung mga surveillance, yung mga hogs. Kapag 10 kilometers naman within the ground zero, yan yung ganun din, mandatory monitoring, reporting. I'm sure ganun din ang ginagawa nila ngayon dyan to make sure to stop the spread ng ASF. Kasi mahirap din eh. Tsaka yung minomonitor din nila, yung mga nananamantala na mga hog retailers na nagbebenta pa din kahit patay na yung baboy. So, yun dapat i-check din nila. Alright, let's continue with our countdown.
Coming in at top 4, authorities are set to conduct siphoning operations to take out the oil spill from the sunken ship MT Terra Nova. Despite this, the Coast Guard maintains that the oil spill has been contained. Here's the report.
After sealing all the valves of MT Terra Nova, the Philippine Coast Guard is now preparing for the siphoning operation. Oil inside the ship will be taken out before it will be refloated. The tanker had over 1 million liters of industrial fuel when it sank off Limay, Bataan last July 25th. The PCG targets to start the operation today if the weather permits.
Medyo malakas sir ngayon dito ang alon talaga sir eh. Ito sir kapag konting alog sa mga operation baka sir magka-spill tayo. So ito yung mga iniiwasan at iniingatan natin.
In Mariveles, another sunken ship MTKR Jason Bradley is set to be refloated. This comes after some 5,000 liters of oil were siphoned out.
Pag wala pong nakitang mga butas dun sa hull, tuloy-tuloy po yan eh. In 3 days span of time mapapalutang na po agad sir si Bradley.
Still in Mariveles, the PCG also continues to monitor MV Mirola 1 that run aground. They are set to conduct diving operations to seal all possible leaking valves.
Kapag dive, automatic sir, magkakandak na po sila ng sealing ng mga na-found na butas ni Mirola before po siya i-refloat.
The PCG maintained that the oil spill from the 3 ships is now under control. The local community, though, continues to make improvised oil spill booms. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Central Luzon, for its part, assured the public that the fish from the region are now safe for consumption.
Ayun. Kasi 24 valves have already been sealed at hopefully nga today, magawa nila yung mga siphoning operation nila. Today yun kaya lang nga daw yung challenge is yung weather.
Yeah.
Baka kasi mag-uulan, which is kagabi, di ba, bigla-biglaan.
Tsaka nahihirapan kasi when it rains kasi yung temperature daw ng tubig lumalamig. So nahihirapan ang divers tapos nagiging unstable daw yung currents ng water. So hindi nakakapag yung diver maneuver ng properly.
So ganun pala yun, hindi basta-basta na pupunta ka doon to siphon everything.
Plus when it rains
you
daw,
have to make sure everything's...
when it rains, mas nagiging murkier daw yung water. So yung visibility din ng diver sa ilalim nahihirapan.
Spell murky yun.
M-U-R-K-I-E-R.
Pero hindi.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Where's your mic? Lapel.
Elmer, pwede ba? I-drop yung
Pero
lapel.
hindi, going back dun sa oil spill, kasi sa Cavite, nagkaroon na sila ng fishing ban dyan, di ba? Yung parang preventive to make sure nga na magiging okay yung mga residente doon, hindi nila makain yung mga if ever contaminated na isda. Pero yung mga pamalakaya within that area are appealing doon sa provincial government na i-lift na yung ban. Kasi nga daw sabi nila, doon sa kanila, tinetest naman nila, wala naman daw nangyari. Tsaka nahihirapan na daw sila doon sa livelihood nila. Kasi nga, syempre, apektado sila dyan eh. Binibigay ng provincial government nila, 5 kilong bigas,
Di ba may,
4 na
parang
peraso
may
na
nagsabi
dilata.
na parang binigyan lang ata for a very small amount na na-shock yung mga tao na it doesn't even last
May
for 2-3
promise sa kanila
days.
sa may Cavite to pero hindi ko alam kung nakuha na nila yun as of
Hindi,
now.
yung mga binanggit rin yung iba, yung fuel vouchers, di ba?
Mahirap kasi din yung puro aasa ka lang din sa ayuda. Di ba, like yung 5 kilong bigas, tas 4 na delata. Syempre, meron ka pang ibang gastusin eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Sa bahay mo, lalo na ngayon, opening na ng klase ng mga anak nila. But, yun nga, we'll be continuing to, we'll be getting updates, diba? Doon sa mangyayaring oil siphoning dyan sa, Terra Nova. Tama ba? MT
Terra Nova.
Alright, let's continue. Pasintabi lang po sa mga kumakain. Coming at the third spot is the rise of leptospirosis in the country. The health department assured the public that hospitals are ready to admit leptospirosis patients. This after San Lazaro Hospital in Manila said they are facing manpower and medicine shortages due to the increase of leptospirosis cases. Health spokesperson Albert Domingo said other hospitals in Metro Manila can still accept leptospirosis patients. 67 cases of leptospirosis in the country were logged from July 14 to 27. Domingo reminded the public to seek immediate help once an individual experiences the symptoms of the illness. The symptoms include fever, headache, body ache, diarrhea, and yellowing of the skin and the eyes.
Kailangan ho talaga yung sinasabing health-seeking behavior kasi napakadaling baliwalain, no? Na pag lumusaw ako sa baha, wala naman ako nararamdaman. Pero kailangan ipaliwanag, merong incubation period ng leptospirosis.
Let's further discuss this matter with health spokesperson Albert Domingo.
Good morning, folks. Thank you very much for joining us this morning again on Brunch.
Yes, hi, good morning, Angelo and Angela. Good morning to everyone who's watching and listening to us right now.
All right, let's get right to it po. Now, we have an updated data kasi of leptospirosis cases in the country. If so, how many cases are we looking at right now?
Angelo, our data right now is up to July 27. 1,444 cases since the start of the year.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that this does not yet include cases that could probably be attributed to July 24 when Karina hit our country.
Okay. Kasi initially when the reports came out, we thought na kasama ng Karina kaya nag-increase. But I'd like to ask, if that's the case, folks, no, comparatively to last year, based on the numbers last year, year on year, do you see an increase? Is there a cause for alarm?
Actually, that's the difficulty, Angelo, no? Kaya careful rin ako magsalita kasi pag tinignan mo year on year, bumaba yung bilang ng lepto cases pero hanggang July 27 pa lang yun, Angelo. Meron kasi tayong incubation period. So, yun nga, sinasabi ko sa mga writers lagi, don't ask me about the numbers yet.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we've seen several reports, so specifically dito po sa San Lazaro Hospital na meron na silang manpower and medicine shortages. Pero all in all, what's the hospital capacity po or rate dito sa Metro Manila?
Yes, Angela, that's a very good question kasi it might appear that merong shortage na nangyayari sa NKTI at San Lazaro. But that's only a function of them being popular hospitals sa ating mga kababayan. Kasi NKTI, dahil kidney yung tinatamaan ng lepto, so ang naiisip lagi ng ating kababayan is punta ako dun sa NKTI. But actually, all hospitals can handle this and there is no shortage of doctors and nurses when you consider the whole of Metro Manila. So yun yung lalabas namin ngayon na advisory, kaya we always tell everyone, pagka lepto po yung kaso, tumawag muna sa telephone number 8531-0037 or sa mobile number 0920-283-2758 para malaman natin kung saan yung may bakante na kama.
Pero for the record, meron po ba tayo iba pang ospital na nakikitang nagkakaroon po ng problema when regards po dito sa manpower and medicine shortages? Aside po dun sa nabanggit po ninyo na San Lazaro Hospital and of course NKTI?
Yeah, Angela, ongoing kasi siya, no? Like as we speak, we get calls, patients get discharged. So it's hard to actually give a pronouncement of which hospitals are full, which hospitals are not. It's always parang considering the whole of Metro Manila. So right now, everything is still being attended to, kaya siya. And this is my way of also saying, para wag na nating dagdagan sa lahat po ng ating mga nanonood at nakikinig, kung kayo ay lumusong sa baha, kahit wala pa kayo nararamdaman in the past 30 days, basta napunta kayo sa baha, please consult your doctor kasi merong libre, available, wala tayong stock problems, yung doxycycline. Pag ininom nyo po yun, once in a day lang siya iinumin, the chances of you getting hospitalized will go much lower at hindi na ho kayo dadagdag dun sa pila.
Pwede po pa-repeat ulit yung ano po, yung hotline na nabanggit nyo po kanina so that we can inform the public as well.
Sige, yung landline natin, Angela, is 8531-0037. Tapos yung ating cellphone is 0920-283-2758.
Alright, sige.
Okay,
And then we'll flash that on screen later on.
Yeah, Spox, I'd like to ask, no, kasi ang dami rin are been asking. I've been seeing online na kahit daw wala pa daw silang sugat, tapos napalusong sila for, let's say, 30 minutes sa baha, sa, let's say, sa street nila, sa house nila. Automatic na yun, Spox, preventively, kailangan mag-doxycycline. Kasi I've heard that some people are allergic daw to the medicine.
Tama yun, Angelo. I like how you ask it because that's exactly the point of the DOH na hindi na kailangang antayin na magkaroon ng nararamdaman. Basta dumikit yung tubig baha sa iyong katawan na kahit alam nyo nga, yung iba, kahit sabihin, naka-shoes naman ako. Pero yung pala yung shoes, medyo mababa yung kanyang line. So, pumasok pa rin yung tubig. So, the important thing here is, basta dumikit sa tubig baha, magpatingin po. Now, I like also your follow-up question na paano yun kung meron silang allergy sa doxycycline. Yan yung maganda, kaya kailangan magpakonsulta. Kasi, hindi lang doxycycline yung pwedeng ibigay na antibiotic. There are second, even third-line antibiotics. Nagkataon lang na yung first-line antibiotic is doxycycline.
Ayun, buti na lang nalinaw nyo yun, Spox, na meron ang iba pang choices. But ang question ko also, Spox, is usually from the time you have contact sa water, how, if let's say it goes untreated, how soon after would you expect, if ever infected ka sa leptospirosis, yung unang symptom?
Yeah, the symptoms come out. The incubation period ranges from as short as 2 days to as long as 30 days. The average is usually mga 1 to 2 weeks. So if you notice, when did we have Karina? July 24.
Yes.
Last Thursday, Friday was roughly around 2 weeks. So nakikita natin on Sabi nga namin, it's sad to say, pero on cue. The bacteria, it's scientific eh. Alam natin the incubation period is around mga 2 weeks. Nakikita natin ngayon. So, we're hoping na baka ito na yung the worst of it, at least for the Karina storm. Pero sana, yung kaya pa ulit-ulit kong sinasabi, yung mga hindi pa nagpapatingin pero napalusong sa baha in the past month, please magpatulong tingin na ho kayo kasi baka mamaya, yung pala, para pang pinapahinog ninyo yung leptospira, unahan na natin, bigyan natin kayo na antibiotic.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that lang, folks. No, at this point, syempre na we understand about a lot about the sickness na may mga gamot na. But how lethal is leptospirosis today?
Yeah, leptospirosis, tatlo kasi yung tinatamaan na organs natin, no? Yung kidney, yung bato, yung liver, atay, tsaka yung brain, utak. So, yes, it can be lethal, especially if caught at a late stage. Marami kasi sa ating mga pasyente pumupunta na sa ospital, alam nyo ang chief complaint nila, either naninilaw yung mata or sasabihin nila parang ilang araw na silang hindi umiihi. Pag sinabing naninilaw yung mata, medyo may tama na yun dun sa ating liver. Pag sinabi namang hindi kami naiihi kasi parang nagsha-shutdown na yung kidneys nila. So, kaya we have to really parang get on top of this. Even before symptoms, yun yung maganda sa leptospirosis compared sa other diseases. Pwede mo siyang bigyan ng antibiotic prophylaxis at bababa yung chances. Halos hindi ka na kailangan dalhin sa ospital.
It's good that you mentioned kanina po na magpakonsulta sa doktor kasi may iba pang other medicines na available, hindi lang itong doxycycline. Kasi yung iba, natatakot sila because nakikita nila yung mga possible side effects ng doxycycline na magdadiarrhea din sila, baka sumakit din yung ulo nila and whatsoever. Gusto ko lang din po balikan yung mga patients natin, recorded patients na may leptospirosis. Do we have data na po kung mas marami po ngayon yung may kaso ng mga bata na nagkakaroon ng leptospirosis?
Hindi pa natin kaya nga himayin, Angela, yung ganong level. We'll probably get to that data around 1 to 2 weeks from now.
Alright, sige. Thank you so much for your time. Siguro po patuloy kami makikipag-ugnayan sa inyo regarding this, sa iba pang mga update tungkol po dito sa leptospirosis cases here in our country. But for the meantime, thank you so much, Health Spokesperson Albert Domingo.
Yes, you're welcome, Angela and Angelo. Magandang umaga sa lahat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
po.
you.
Kasi di ba,
Yeah.
yung sinasabi nila, ayoko na uminom yan kasi parang, ano ba yan, din ako, masasaktan din ako lalo.
Well, sabi kasi
ng mga side effects.
si Spokes Albert Domingo, we've interviewed him a number of times. He always said, when you drink medicine or you go for a treatment, you always look at, you outweigh, does the treatment outweigh the risk and the benefits? You outweigh it, di ba? Kung mas mataas ang benefit mo, tas may risk na rin nakaakibat, tignan mo muna, baka naman it will save your life. But then, lililinaw niya, may other choices, hindi lang doxycycline, cycline. So, all you have to do is go to your local doctor para pa-check, ano ba, hindi ako pwede may alternative. Kala ko nga kanina artista na may interview natin
Sabi ko,
sabi mo kasi Albert Martinez.
Hindi naman nasabi
Buti, hindi nahuli ni Direk yan.
Hindi naman na...
Spokesperson Albert Mar Dominguez.
Ganun lang. Wala
sabi mo Mar Dominguez.
Playback mo, huwag kang magulo. Don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa. Magtrabaho ka. Stay with us.
You're not done. You're Angela. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on the One News. It's a Monday morning and of course,
Waffle Day today.
Waffle Day.
Oo, batiin lang natin yung
go ahead.
pabati.
No, go ahead.
Ako
sige.
na, si Glenn Acol, nagpapabati siya sa atin na nanonood siya sa Facebook. Si
Sam Pokemon Go.
Ken Chin. Si Gary Field, tsaka si Sam Pokemon Go. Si Cecil Samaniego, also watching, and Mina Benyales.
Ay, Jessie Mendez family. Good morning.
Si Jerry Young.
Jerry Young, of
ng,
course.
Chancellor.
Jerry Young, Chancellor,
Tsaka
9,000.
si Mayor Abad, si Elmer, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mayor Abad.
Ang ating lightsman.
Baka naman.
Tsaka ano pa ba?
Baka
The
naman.
legendary audio.
Oo. Alright.
Audio man.
Game.
Anong game nilaro?
Kanina pa to eh. Coming in the top 2, the PNP bans police officers from serving as umbrella assistants to VIPs during events. PNP Chief General Romel Francisco Marbil said the use of cops to protect VIPs from sunlight or rain does not help in uplifting the dignity of PNP personnel. Marbil shared that he got angry when he saw some cops, particularly the new ones, holding umbrellas and acting like aides or bodyguards. Recall that he recently got the ire of Vice President Sara Duterte after he pulled out 75 police officers from her security contingent.
Sabi daw niya breaker of chains, ika nga. So
Breaker of
parang
chains.
ang ano niya, ang peg niya doon, it ends with us. Itigil ang cycle ng ganyan. Kasi nakita natin, usually daw yung mga newly recruits, yung mga newly hired na low-ranking officers, yun yung mga nagiging trabaho nila. Instead of yung, alam mo na, yung keeping peace and order,
Yeah.
yung talagang
In other
main
words,
duties and responsibilities
Instead of
nila.
nasa field sila at nahahasa sila into progressing into, di ba, high-ranking officials someday,
Yes.
they're holding up umbrellas, carrying bags.
It's not that we are belittling yung mga personal assistants o yung
But
ganito
that's
yung
not
trabaho.
kasi-
But hindi kasi yan yung trabaho nila.
Oo,
hindi
kaya-
hindi sila nag-training to do that.
Kaya sila ng PNP Academy or ng Criminology. It's because someday, mga high-ranking officials din siya yan. And you have to immerse them kung ano talaga yung field nila. Diba, hindi magbubuo. And number 2, kailangan bipartisan kasi at all times ang PNP.
Totoo.
Diba? So you cannot show favor or pagsanib sa isang politiko. Hindi maganda tignan. Kahit sabihin mo yung intention mo, hindi ganun.
Exactly. So parang nakikita ko nga dito kay PNP Chief General Marbil, talagang iniisa-isa niya. Sa tingin ko parang naglilinis siya eh. 'Di ba nung mga nakaraang araw nakikita natin yung mga reports about it, yung pagsasaayos nila ng mga officers sa Davao. Tapos nabanggit din niya yung mga police na nagmo-moonlight,
Yeah.
'di ba? Pinagbawalan.
Actually, sa PBBM admin, nakita ko yung thrust ng last PNP chiefs kung ano yung gusto nila mangyari. Yung parang number 1, less blood na way of tackling drug war. Number 2, nakikita ko rin, isa sa platform nila sa PNP is cleaning up the image of the PNP. I've heard that a number of times.
Right. Okay, let's continue with our countdown. Our top story for today, President Bongbong Marcos condemned China's Air Force harassing a Filipino aircraft over Panatag Shoal. Marcos called China's action as unjustified, illegal, and reckless as it endangered our aircraft undertaking a routine maritime security operation. The president said his administration is committed to proper diplomacy, means of resolving disputes with China. But he reminded the neighbor country to act responsible both in seas and in skies. The Armed Forces of the Philippines reported that 2 Chinese aircraft executed a maneuver and dropped flares that endangered the Philippine Air Force. Now, to tell us more about this, we have Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson, Colonel Francel Padilla.
Good morning, Colonel Padilla. Thank you for joining us.
Magandang umaga, Sir Angelo and Ma'am Angela. Magandang umaga po sa inyong mga tagapagsalita.
Okay. Yes, Colonel, let's get right to it po. We all heard naman yung statement ng ating Pangulo. But ano po ang official reaction po ng AFP about China's latest harassment po sa ating Air Force? Do you think they were trying to show us na sila pa rin ang supposedly naghahari-harian sa area na yan?
Ito nga, Sir Angelo, no, yung release po nitong flares and dangerous maneuvers that the PLS Air Force conducted with our 212 aircraft is a clear indication of their deceptive intentions. No? Yung kanilang ICAD activities, yung sasabi ko, illegal, coercive, aggressive, and deceptive operations.
Yes.
Ang actions na ito is unwarranted and constitute a form of aggression, no? And demonstrate their lack of respect for peace and diplomatic engagement.
Yeah, Colonel, no, I'd like to ask kasi nasasanay tayo na karamihan ng aggression ng China usually nasa atin na karagatan, no, towards the Navy or the Coast Guard. And we all know what has happened already. But I'd like to ask, how dangerous is what China did sa atin Air Force? Ano po yung worst case scenario na pwedeng mangyari sa atin ng mga kasamahan sa Air Force? Are we looking at kung may possibility na tatama po ang flare sa atin na aircraft?
So pwede yun, sir, no? Depende po kung how close the flares fly towards our aircraft. No? So talagang very glaring itong ginawa nila na nagkaroon ng dangerous maneuvers, no? Na dalawa to, isa was flying, hovering above our aircraft,
Okay.
and the other was nasa side, no? But despite po itong blatant provocation na to, ang worth to note na ginawa rito, sir, is our pilots and crew displayed the highest level of professionalism and dedication.
Yes.
They have remained unfazed and pinakita nila ang there was no emotional response on their side and despite this aggressive action. So, nakakita dito, sir, yung skill and composure in this situation as a testament of the training and discipline of our pilots po.
Yes, Colonel, I'd like to ask, no, mabilis lang itong question ko, is how many times po ginawa na to sa atin ng China yung sa dangerous aerial maneuvers?
This is the first time, sir, na may ganyan insidente tayo sa air. Usually, sir, itong mga ISAD activities nila, they conduct it during our RORE missions. But this time, sir, these are regular and routinary maritime patrols that we conduct. And this is the usual flying path that we also take during these maritime patrols.
Kamustahin lang po namin yung mga pilot na na-involve po dito sa nangyaring insidente na ito?
Quickly return naman po, no? Nakapag-land po sila at around 10 a.m. po nung August 8 sa Clark Air Base.
Ito pong routine na ginagawa po ninyo, itong nangyari po yung maritime security operation rather, how often do we usually do this?
Regular ito, ma'am, no? We do not disclose, of course, the schedule of this. But madalas po talaga natin itong ginagawa. Regular basis, this is being done. Kasabay ito ng pagpapatrolya natin sa dagat with our naval vessels. We also conduct this through our Air Force area patrol.
Opo. Just to be clear lang po, no? So what happens now po pag ito po ay nangyari po ulit? Ano po ang directive po?
Sa side po ng AFP, no,
Yes.
yun naman pong rules of engagement natin is clear to everyone po that we deploy in our regular missions. And we leave this to the commanders on the ground on how they would be proceeding with the future scenarios. Meron naman po tayong mga risk-based analysis to this and meron po tayong contingency plans that are in place.
Alright, siguro yun na lang po muna at this point and we'll continue to get in touch with you po for more updates regarding this incident. For the meantime, thank you so much. That was AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Padilla.
Yan, at least
Yun, nagmamadali kasi si Colonel, may meeting daw
busy,
sila after.
you know, all know kasi busy sila Colonel, but malinaw na ngayon kasi some people wanted to know if this is the first time or nangyari na to,
Yes,
na-highlight
I was
lang.
gonna ask.
So sinabi ni Colonel, this is the first time that China did such a maneuver sa air. Kasi ang nakasanayan natin sa dagat. So this is the first time they did it. So there were two Chinese aircrafts daw, airplanes that dropped flares, I think, in the pathway or towards the Philippine aircraft.
Very dangerous yun. Paano kung na-aksidente sila, what happens now?
Oo, kasi iba po yung aksidente sa dagat, iba rin aksidente sa air.
Pati ba naman sa air, di ba, magkakaroon tayo ng problema doon. Pero of course, on their side of defense or yung kanilang panig sa China, sinasabi nila, ginawa nila to within their legal rights.
Pero
At we are intruding in their exercises na ginagawa within that
Pero if
area.
you see is a progression, kitang-kita mo ang progression ng China from compared to 3-4 years ago. They're escalating, nag-escalate sila sa dagat up to a point na may naputulan ng daliri. And then now they're doing new things already. Sa hangin naman sila nag-escalate. So it's really scary their progression. Parang what do we do to nip this in the bud? Parang sabi nila we should get on the negotiating table. I agree, but wala tayong leverage.
Exactly.
We need leverage to do that. What do? Do we leverage economic strength? Wala naman tayong economic strength. Do we leverage our military might? Wala naman tayong military might, diba? So what do? Sabi nila, build further ties so that maybe if we go back to the table, baka samahan tayo sa lamesa ng mga partner natin.
Oo nga, and tsaka sinasabi din nila, bakit ang Vietnam, 'di ba? We had recently yung parang exercise with the Vietnam, and ang Vietnam also one of the claimants diyan sa area na 'yan, at hindi naman natin sila nakakaaway. So, ano ba yung dapat gawin natin? And of course, para makatulong din natin magkaroon ng kumbaga synergy with other Southeast Asian claimants, 'di ba? Doon sa area kasi as of now, tahimik sila eh. Hindi din sila nagsasalita regarding
Kasi ang sa Vietnam ata alam ko, although madami tayong nag-claim sa specific areas of the West Philippine Sea, but yung area kung saan pinagdidiskitahan tayo ng China, parang hindi ganong kataas ang interest nila yan. Parang they're looking at yung mga territories nearer to them and in dispute with China and the Philippines, diba?
That's why we need lang yung nila, yung parang yung parang solidarity na mali ba yung ginagawa ng China or not. Yun yung iniisip din ng ibang mga, of course, yung mga analysts, nag-iisip sila, bakit tahimik ang neighboring countries natin pagdating dito. Of course, alam naman natin, we have Australia, we have Japan, we have US on our side.
We have Germany.
Yeah,
we have
on
Germany.
our side. Diba? So, ano pa mangyayari after that? But yun nga, ngayon, katatapos lang ulit ng resupply mission dun sa BRP Sierra Madre na nagkaroon din ng sabi nila pagsunod, parang binantayan tayo ng mga Chinese Coast Guard doon sa pagbigay natin ng supply. They made sure na wala tayong binigay doon na mga construction materials.
Ay, binantayan.
Now, they are eyeing and sabi nila, ano pa bang magagawa natin? Hundreds of diplomatic protests na tayo and kung ano-ano pang mga statements na ilalabas natin. But then again, walang nangyayari.
I think the protest is not really, we're not looking for an instant reaction to it.
Yeah, oo.
Siguro what we're doing is putting it on record. So when the time comes na let's say China is willing to talk to us, we can say, well, we went through the proper channels, hindi kayo nakinig. And this is our only recourse left.
Kaya nga ang sinasabi nga nila, after nitong mga diplomatic protest na to, maigi din mag-build na ng case itong Marcos administration patungkol naman doon sa yung environmental case against China. 'Di ba kasi may mga reported tayo na mga incidents na pagsira ng mga coral reef, etc. So, yun ang tinitignan nila na pwede din na gawin ng Pilipinas.
Pero ang ganda no, tignan mo. Si President Aquino, ang legacy niya, isa sa legacy niya is filing yung case sa Hague about the West Philippine Sea. If PBBM files a case, environmental case sa West Philippine Sea, you have an Aquino who filed a territorial case and you have a Marcos who filed an environmental case.
That's why crucial yung magiging presidente mo
next
after PBBM.
Sino
kung i-reinforce niya, kung let's say for example nakapag-file nga sila
continuity.
ng case. Continuity kasi that's what happened kasi before when late President Noynoy Aquino filed the case, arbitral ruling, nanalo tayo. Just in time ng pag-alis niya sa termino, pagpasok ng Duterte administration na hindi naman na-reinforce ng iba, totally different yung foreign policy.
Correct.
Kaya ngayon, naghahabol tayo.
Alright, with that, maraming salamat pala sa lahat ng viewers natin for joining us today. It's a Monday.
Again, congratulations sa natin, mga atletang Pilipino.
One of our best finishes to date.
Pagdasal din natin yung mga mga para-athletes natin na pinadala natin sa Paris.
Magagaling din sila kung alam nyo lang. This week din sila lalaban. And also sa lahat ng viewers, thank you for your comments. Highly appreciated. Sana you join us again.
Tomorrow abangan nila kasi darating na yung mga athletes natin from Paris. So may mga update na tayo kung saan sila una pupunta. Of course, sasalubungin sila ni President Bongbong Marcos and the rest of the first family.
Saka win or lose, lahat sila panalo po sa ating mata. So kahit walang ginto, walang silver, walang bronze, they all did their best.
Galing nung sa golf
malayo ang hinabol ng golfer. Oo, malayo ang inakyat niya, di ba, from positioning. So, congratulations sa dalawang golfer natin na Pinay. Kakaiba kayo. At before we go, of course, I'd like to, may sasabihin ka pa ba, Olana?
Go ahead.
I'd like to share with everyone a quote. You don't realize how strong you are until you have to help someone else stand up.
Taray.
Taray. A quote from Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Okay, sige, abangan niyo po ulit kami tomorrow, ha? Don't forget.
And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad-Castro. And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News. Trabaho ka! Magtrabaho ka.
Ibang programa yan, ha?
All sides, all the time. Ayaw magsalita.